Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm here with something I haven't had in a while, and that is a flashlight video. Today, I have my Anker Bolder video, and that is Bolder without the U. It's not it's not a rock or anything, but it is Bolder by Anker. They make a few different types. Some of them are battery operated, and some of them have a rechargeable battery inside and recharged by USB. Usually, most of the batteries I would buy up to a few years ago had to have either AA or AAA batteries. Wouldn't buy any C or D battery flashlights because, quite frankly, they're too expensive, and every time there's any kind of a storm, people go crazy buying them. So I'd rather buy lights with AA and AAA batteries, and I've noticed that over time, especially with LEDs becoming the overwhelmingly popular selection for flashlights, they've become really, really good, very powerful. So this one, when I saw that Anker was making flashlights a couple of years ago, this was actually a gift from my wife for Christmas. I want to say maybe 4 years ago. And it's been with me during every storm we've had in case we lose power, because I have a lot of faith in it not only working, but being able to put enough light out if we need it. So first thing I want to do is just give you some brief measurements on it. And again, this is the Anker Bolder. And let's see, it is a little bit over 6.5 inches, as you can see there. And the front of it is about 1.5 inches. So it's a pretty good size, definitely manageable. We won't want to carry it with you every day, though. It's not real heavy either, but it's not that kind of size and weight. But it's great to have at home or in your car for an emergency. The lanyard did come with it. So now for a few things. The thing I like the best is that it is rechargeable using a micro USB cable. So again, this was 4 years ago I got this. Most phones, with the exception of iPhones, did not have, most of them had micro USB cables. So the same wire you would use for your phone, you'd use for this. And you could still get micro USB cables all over the place. And actually, even if you're using a USB-C cable, they actually sell small adapters that you can attach to the top of your charging cables, so that you could still use it for both your flashlight and your phone, which is pretty cool. I would say this takes maybe a few hours to charge from empty or close to empty to being totally topped off. And I believe my charger that I used was like 2.3 amps. I plugged it in. Has a crenulated front because remember now it's tactical. So you have to put the crenulated stuff there, because if not, it's just Grandpa's flashlight, really. So at the back you have the button. Can't really tell too much about how bright it is, but it is 900 lumens. Not sure if I mentioned that. And it has 5 settings. It is low, medium, high, S.O.S, and strobe, and you achieve those kind of just by pressing the there was the S.O.S preceded by the strobe. So, like I said, 900 lumens, plenty bright. I believe it runs 6 hours on full power. But the good thing is, if you know there's a storm coming, make sure it's topped off. If you have power banks, top off the power banks. You can run these right from a power bank. Now I have multiple Anker power banks. So if you think about it, I think this has maybe a 1200 milliamp hour battery. Don't hold me to that though. But this has about a 1200 milliamp hour battery. I have 20,800 milliamp Anker power banks. So you can charge this a whole bunch of times off one Anker power bank. So what I've been doing is, when I purchase flashlights, I've been purposely going for USB powered flashlights, and of course the power banks. And recently I also did a video on the inverter for my Ryobi, and that's another thing. Basically, that turns Ryobi batteries into power banks. So it's kind of like you got this synergy between your universe of power tools, your power banks, and then your USB flashlights, and whatever any other gadgets and gizmos you have. Now, there's one other thing, oh, well, actually two. What I read from the company's website is this beam of light goes up to 1,000 feet. Not bad. And the other cool thing is you can actually adjust the beam just by pulling this forward. And you're not going to really be able to tell too much here, but because it's close, but you can kind of see how it spreads out a little bit just by pulling it back. And there's about maybe a half-inch difference in that, but it's really helpful. I mean, I tend to prefer the wider, less focused light usually, because it really fills up the room nicely. And if you're going outside, now if you're really focusing in an area, obviously you want that more focused beam. But this is pretty cool, and it has an aluminum body. It is waterproof. I think it's like waterproof, like to be submersed to a meter. Haven't done it yet, but I would not have any qualms taking this out in heavy rain. You know, I'm not going to go diving with it, but heavy rain, no problem. And like I said, it's aluminum. If it's anything like, I mean, I don't abuse the thing. I try and treat my stuff well so it lasts. But I know that if I drop this, it's going to work. I have no doubt if I drop this down my cellar stairs, it's going to work well. And the other cool thing is, if you can look closely here, you have some knurling here, you have some texturing here, you have some over here when you go to turn it. So this is, I mean, it's really solidly made. You'll have no trouble holding on to it. And plus, it does have the lanyard, which I really do like to use, especially if you're outside doing something. And if it's raining, nice to put this on here and, you know, just put your hand around it, you know, and this way, if it does get a little rainy and it slips, it's not going to fall, even though it could stand the big bang on the ground. Why subject it to that if you don't have to? The other thing is, I forget how much I paid for this. Well, I should say I forget how much this cost 4 years ago. It was in the $20-something range. I just went to Amazon, and they're actually selling these for $29.99. And like I said, this is 900 lumens. Strangely, they have one there that's like 400 lumens. That's $22.99. I guess if you're really pinched for cash, that $7 might make a difference. But if you're not, I would just pay this extra $7, get this for $29.99, and you got 900 lumens and a pretty good beam of light. So if you are looking for a reasonably priced flashlight, and I think $29.99 is that, this is the one to get. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. I also have another Anker flashlight that I wanted to show you as part of this one. It's actually a smaller one, also USB operated, but I can't find it. I lost it. Well, I lost it before, then I found it, now I lost it again. But I'm going to try and find that and do another video on it, because especially with winter coming up for all you fine folks in the Northeast, it's something good for you to have. All right, catch you later.